Hello and welcome to the top 10 most popular manga characters that's chosen by you guys, the BBS community. Before I begin, please keep in mind that this is a popularity contest, and it's not a top 10 in terms of strength or usability. I also want to thank all of you for voting, as without you guys this list would not be possible. With that said, let's begin.
Is Yoruichi は未来を改変する力だ。さあ、絶望してくれるなよ。みんな。
Starting off the list is Yuhabaha, the king of the Quincy's, and whose name I have a 50% chance I mispronounced. He not only has the highest SP in the game, but he's also got a unique barrier ability that starts him off with 10 shields. And while he may not have Frenzy, he does have a plus 50 Berserker, as well as a plus 30 Bruiser, and he can inflict debilitating paralysis on all of his strong attacks. That is, of course, until he uses his awesome special, which not only deals a massive amount of damage because of bombardment, but also gives a shield to everybody in the team and completely changes his attacks. Not just in terms of looks either. They go from inflicting a debilitating paralysis to inflicting a debilitating weakening, and the magnification on them changes as well. His normal attacks going from a 100, 100, 120 to a 120, 120, 150, and his strong attacks increasing the mag from 120 to 150%. And if you don't know what this means, basically it does a ton more damage, if only for a limited time. Still, it means this character is fun to use in PvE as you can change his playstyle, but where this character really shines is in PvP, because in addition to all of this, he also has a captain killer and a damage reduction link. So he's pretty much the perfect Retsu counter, assuming you can survive long enough. Still, there's a good reason that's why people really like him, because you know as soon as he gets that soul bomb, it's pretty much all over.
その力の名前はね、挽回だよ。
At number 9 on the list, we have Kenny, who is a lot of people's favorite character in the show, and for good reason. He's got a great personality, and he brings a lot of the humor to the world. But historically, he's also been a really good asset to the game, and this one is no exception, as he has a ridiculously high SP, as well as Frenzy, and he's one of few characters to have poise, meaning he does not stagger. So the only way you can pretty much stop his strong attacks, or any attack from his, is if you freeze him, stun him, or kill him. This makes him extremely dangerous in PvE, as the strong attacks not only deal a lot of damage, but also have excellent range. It's also really useful in PvP, because the only reason we don't use a lot of SP characters in there is because their strong attacks can get interrupted, and his can't. This Kenny also has an interesting special. It does a decent amount of damage, as he doesn't have bombardment, but he does have a plus 40 devastation. But, like Yuha, it also transforms this character, and while strong attacks remain the same, they do a lot more damage, because his strong attacks go from being a 120 mag to a 150 mag. On top of that, he has the Frenzy, so every hit with this magnification is doubled. But wait, there's more, because as soon as you use this transformation, his strong attacks immediately recharge. So you can pretty much use 6 strong attacks in a row without having to wait for recharge. Not only that, but when he transforms back, they pretty much recharge instantly as well, making for some pretty fun strategies in guild quests and just PvE in general. And I know a lot of people were upset that he didn't get Flurry, but in my personal opinion, I don't think he needed it. Though I wouldn't have complained if they gave him another flash stab.
冷圧をぶち込んで叩き起こしたいやつがいるんだ。まだ全然使いこなせちゃいねえけどな。
Next on the list is the true Shikai version of Ichigo Kurosaki. And I'm not gonna lie, this one actually surprised me. I thought he would be a lot higher on the list. But the people have spoken, so here we are. As of this recording, this Ichigo still has the highest attack in the game, as well as a plus 20 Nadlink and Flurry, making him potentially the most damaging character in the whole game. But even though he's a ranged Nad character, it doesn't mean his strong attacks are useless. His strong attack 3 is good for breaking guard, his strong attack 2 is a crawling vortex move that helps to rack up the combo and increase the damage, and his strong attack 1 is a pushback move. Now unfortunately, he does have a major flaw in his Espada killer. It's not really used these days, except for maybe Senkaimon quests, but considering he does so much damage without it, I guess we can give it a pass. Finally, there's this Ichigo special. It doesn't do that much damage, but it is full screen, and it leaves the enemies with defense reduction, allowing you to do a lot more damage with your normal attacks. I know a lot of people were upset that this Ichigo was ranged, even though it doesn't really make sense as to why they were upset, but he's still a very good character, and one that you should definitely try to go after.
挽回発火の咎めこれが私の残白刀の真の力だ
Next on the list we have Rukia Kuchiki, who I know a lot of people were waiting for, including myself, and when she finally came out, she didn't disappoint. She's got a really high SP as well as Frenzy and a Neuronkar killer, and she can inflict debilitating freezing on absolutely everything. She's also got a pretty fast NAD, and excellent range on her strong attacks, including her strong attack 2, which is a hybrid vortex move. It brings enemies closer to Rukia before hitting them on final blast, and increases the chance of inflicting freezing because it hits so many times. Rukia's special can also inflict freezing. In addition to that, it also leaves behind a vortex move that surrounds Rukia and doubles as a 4th strong attack that not only deals damage but also has a chance of inflicting freezing. Combine all this with the fact that she's actually immune from freezing, and you have yourself a really powerful character, both in terms of PvE and PvP, and she's a good counter for Toshiro and anything else that might inflict freezing. Rukia is often considered the second most important character in Bleach, and I'm glad that we got one that finally did her justice.
Shunko, Raiju Senki, Jinryu Kokubyo Senki.
Coming in at number 6 is Yoruichi Shihoin, and I'm not gonna lie, I really wanted this character to make it higher on the list, but that's just me. The people have spoken, and 6 is where she landed, though it's not a bad place to be. She has a really high SP, higher than any other brute character, and she has Frenzy. Not only that, but she can also inflict debilitating paralysis on everything she does, which is actually better than debilitating freezing because there's not a lot of people that can counter paralysis. Her strong attacks all have excellent range, and she can flash stab multiple times, allowing her to quickly clear a room. She's also got a really good attack. It's not only fast, but in terms of actual attack stat, she has the highest of any other high SP 1000-year Blood War character. And then we get to this character's special, which is absolutely insane. It does a decent amount of damage, but like Rukia's, it also leaves behind a vortex move that does damage and has a chance to inflict paralysis. The vortex move doubles as a 4th strong attack, and as for the other strong attacks, they're completely changed, going from a 120 mag to a 150 mag, very similar to Kenny's, and just like Kenny's, they also deal a lot more damage. But her strong attacks aren't the only thing that's changed. Her normal attacks also change. Their magnification is increased, their range is highly increased, but unfortunately it's a little harder to control than a regular normal attack. Still, the trade-off is well worth it, and it makes the character that much more fun to play.
Bankai, Kannon Biraki, Benishime Aratame. Shikatanai desu ne.
At number 5, we have my personal favorite character in the entire game, Quisqueya Hara, who has the highest SP of any tech character and has some pretty unique abilities. As I mentioned, he has a pretty high SP. He also has Frenzy, and his strong attacks all have excellent range. His strong attack 3 is full screen, his strong attack 2 hits in waves, and can come in very handy in a variety of situations, and his strong attack 1 has a 180% mag, meaning that if it all hits one character, it's gonna do a lot of damage. It also helps with pushing enemies back and rapidly increases the combo, which makes it really useful that it's strong attack 1 and it comes back fairly quickly. Not only that, but this Quisqueya is also completely immune to poison, which can come in very handy in things like inheritance zones or droplet raids or basically anything that has poison on the ground. It also means this character is really good for autoing, but as useful as that poison thing is for autoing, it's not the most useful thing he has. That, my friends, is his special. That in addition to dealing a decent amount of damage, it also pretty much gives everybody an extra life, not just in co-op but in single player and PvP as well. This has become unbelievably useful, especially when dealing with harder co-ops or just autoing, as you can start off with the special and run the raid with what is essentially 6 lives. Well, kinda. They do come back with half stamina. Still, it's a very useful ability to have, and as of the time of this recording, Quisqueya is the only one to have it.
Bankai, Katen Kyokotsu Karamatsu Shinju, Ore ni te ozume shime no dan, Itokiri basami chizome no nodobue.
At number 2 is a character that's definitely one of the coolest characters to ever come out, Shunsui Kyoraku. His SP may not be as high as, say, Yoruichi's or Rukia's, but in my personal opinion, he's definitely more fun to play. He's got an incredibly fast NAD and a decently high attack, as well as a really high SP and Frenzy. His strong attacks are also really fun to use. His strong attack 3 is a full screen move, his strong attack 1 has really good range and it's a lunge move, and his strong attack 2 might be the best strong attack in the game. This is because Shunsui has a 160% max strong attack 2, and he has Frenzy, essentially making this strong attack an instant kill, assuming you use it correctly. You do have to be pretty close up to the enemies and either pin them up against the wall, freeze them, stun them, or have them have poise. It's actually a lot easier to use than it sounds, but the very fact that you actually have to line this attack up before using it is part of the reason that this character is so fun. And finally we have Shunsui's special, that at first glance would look like a normal special, but actually has a chance of instant killing the enemy. This can come in handy in a variety of different situations, but if you ask me, it's just the icing on the cake.
挽回水無月雑境はこれにておしまい。
Coming in at number 3 is a character that a lot of you probably thought was gonna be number 1, Retsu/Yachiru Unohana. I've probably recorded the same description for this character countless of times across my top 10s, so what's one more? She has one of the highest attacks in the game, as well as flurry and poise, and she's got a captain killer, essentially making her really good at PvP. And if that weren't enough, her strong attack 2 is a heal move, which not only adds to the headache of this character in PvP, but also makes her pretty good in PvE, as she can heal the entire team in a regular raid or co-op, and pretty much makes her the go-to for auto. If that weren't enough, she also has a damage reduction link, which also adds to the headache of PvP and also makes her really good for auto. Finally, there's this character special that not only inflicts damage, but also heals the entire team for 60%, and also has a chance to instantly kill the enemies. It's easily one of the best specials in the entire game, and it makes Retsu a must-have for any player.
4歩のうちに踏みしめた空間の治水化風の全てを凍結する視界氷結
Now, I knew Toshiro was going to be high on the list. I did not expect him to be number 2 though. But it does make sense. He's a lot of people's favorite captain, and this version of Toshiro is one of the best things we've ever gotten. He not only has a really high SP as well as Frenzy, but can also inflict debilitating freezing on everything, which is made all the more better when you realize that his strong attacks all have ridiculous range and ridiculous activation speed. It's what made this character king of PvP for a while, even though he really should not have been. Seriously, he was meant to be a PvE character. He has a hollow killer, and he has a strong attack recharge link. I really do think that the whole PvP thing was just a happy accident. But still, he continues to be really good at both. In fact, this Toshiro's pretty good at basically anything in this game. Seriously, Guild Quest, Senkaimon, Inherit Zone, Extreme Co-op, Droplet Zone, there's nothing you can take him in where he won't be good at. And I think that's why he made it this high up on the list.
これで全部終わりだ
Now finally at number 1 we have Ichigo Bankai. Sorry, I don't know where that came from. Wink. But seriously, this character is awesome. He has the highest SP of any heart character in the game, and the highest SP of any character with Frenzy. He's also got really good strong attacks, with excellent range and really good damage, including a strong attack 2 that's a boost move. But it's not like any other boost move. This one not only increases his stats, but also increases the mag of his strong attacks and his normal attack. And unlike Yuha, Yoruichi, and Banken, whose transformation only lasts 30 seconds, and they can only use it with their special, Ichigo can basically do this anytime he uses his strong attack 2. It only lasts for 20 seconds. But if you build him correctly, because he's a strong attack recharge character, you can basically use it in an unlimited amount of times, effectively making your attack always over 800, and your defense always at least 470. And he's not even a nat character, that's just a side effect of his strong attacks. Still, it means you can play him in a variety of different ways, and it means he's useful in so many different areas. He's also got a Soul Reaper killer, which is the best killer in the game, and he's completely immune from paralysis and weakening. He is easily the best Ichigo we've ever gotten, and I think that's the reason the community put him at number 1. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe to the channel, and... no, not again.
Silly Martin. Don't worry. Unless we'll do this correctly.
Bankai! 陸上天元妙弾劾場へ